So there you go, that's our Diplomat cream and why you should make it. Hi everyone, welcome to Backyard Chef. I'm Rick. Today we're making Diplomat cream. Why should you know how to make Diplomat cream? If you make eclairs or profiteroles or tarts or trifles or anything and it's warm weather or you're in a warm country, Diplomat cream is super stable. Let's show you how to make it, come on. So the first job for us then, I've got some sugar here and I've got some egg yolk. Egg yolk in there, and we're going to give that a whisking. Now you don't have to be too technical with this whatsoever. Just whisk it in. All we're doing is dissolving the sugar actually. It doesn't have to be light and frothy or anything, you know, just give it a little whisk in there for a couple of minutes. And of course you can do this with an electric whisker, up to you. That'll do, let's not overdo it. In there, corn flour. So basically what we're doing, we're making a custard. So just nice and gently incorporate that in there. Just get it in. And then we're going to heat up some milk. And then we're going to temper this egg mixture. And carry on. Now I am absolutely certain that there's many people out there that have never even heard of Diplomat cream. And I understand that. If you have, do you use it? Do you go to the trouble of making it? Now there's a secret ingredient to go into Diplomat cream, because really this is just a pastry cream. The secret ingredient to go into Diplomat cream is whey powder, whey milk powder. That makes it stable, holds it all together. Right, look, there you go, that's our custardy mix. Let's just chuck that to one side. Right, what we need to be doing, and we should have done, but we forgot. Water, gelatin in there. It won't make a blind bit of difference that I forgot. Bloom. Just give it a little stir. Leave it on one side. Grab a pan. Okay, we want a little flame on. Now we're not going to go crackers with this. Alright, we just want to warm it all through in there with our milk. In there, whey powder. Now I am going in with a little bit of salt, but that is up to you. I will put that as optional, but I want that in there. I'm going to go in with about 2 teaspoons of vanilla. Grab yourself a whisk or something and let's have that in there. Now we're going to bring this up to simmering or steaming, I call it. We don't boil it, we bring it up to steaming. Now just give it a little stir around to dissolve that whey powder. Go on, look. I suppose you could just tip the milk in the whey powder, make it into a liquid and chuck it back in here, but we never do it that way for some reason. So basically we are making a custard. So you don't have to go crackers. When you start to see that it has 1 or 2 little bubbles on there, that is already warming up. So we don't have to go crazy. Okay, we need to temper this eggs to put that back in there. So it's not hot. We're just going to put a little bit of that in there. I'm going to leave that on there and we're going to stir that in there like that. So we can go in there with a little bit more. It's up to you. You don't have to go crackers, and then you just put that lot in there, all of it. So all we're doing now is, because we're making a custard, we're just giving this a little stir, low heat. We don't need it crazy. Look, that is very low. Low heat just till it starts to thicken, and then we're going to stir that butter and that gelatin in there. Okay, that's started to thicken. Off the flame, or flame off. Nice and steady. Give it a stir. We don't need that now, let's just chuck that out of the way. We got this going on. That's come together. In there, our butter. And in there, our gelatin. And we stir it all in until it's smooth. Now don't forget, with anything like this, it's 10 anti-clockwise, 5 clockwise, 10 anti-clockwise. I'm just joking. Just stir it in till it goes smooth. And everything is dissolved. You know, you see so many videos, and they all say, stir it 5 times anti-clockwise. What difference does it make? You're stirring it up. God, there's some very gullible people out there. Okay, look, there you go. That's a lovely, lovely, smooth cream. Right, now what you have to do, you have to get yourself a little dish, and we're going to tip it in there. So in it goes. There ain't much in there. Okay, it's up to you whether you can be bothered to smooth it down. It really does not matter for this. Okay? Because we're actually going to whisk it all up eventually. So there you go. That's in there. Wibbly wobbly. Wibbly wobbly, wibbly wobbly. Job done. And then you grab yourself some wrap and you lay it on there so it don't get skinned up. Like that. You let that cool, and then you shove that in the fridge for about 2 hours. Okay, a couple of hours. We need to be turning our pastry cream. This is really nice pastry cream into Diplomat cream. So you know how to make pastry cream, and now we're going to make it into Diplomat cream. This is whipping cream or heavy cream, whatever you know it by. That is 1 teaspoon of icing sugar, and we want a little, probably half a teaspoon or something, of vanilla. Okay, we're going to give that cream a whipping up. Okay, there you go, we've got that mixed in there. Okay, now I always mix this first before mixing the pastry cream. Now, it's old habits, you don't have to, but I like the cream to whip, and you know, I don't want to have any trouble trying to whip up the cream if there's anything in that pastry cream that's going to stop the whipping cream. Okay, pastry cream, we're going to put that in there. I'm going to give it a little beat over. Okay, there is your really nice pastry cream. We are turning this into Diplomat cream. Now I'm just going to put probably half of that in there, and I'm just going to actually turn it in with this slowly. Now you can turn all this in by hand. I don't think it's necessary. It depends, you know, how you've been taught and all the rest of it. I don't think it's necessary, you know. We try and do everything easy on here. So just give that a little turning in. Okay, so just turn it in now. Make sure that's all fully incorporated in there. And that is Diplomat cream. It's incredible. It's pastry cream with cream in. It's a creamy pastry cream. It's absolutely delicious. So I'm hearing you, how do you use it? If you're making that lot, you take one of these nozzles and you get one of these bags. In fact, you put a twist in there and just tuck it in a minute. In there. And then you stand this up in something that you can slap that cream in there. Now I'm using this jug, not so good, it's not so high. So this lasts a couple of days in the fridge, not a problem. So you could make your choux pastry, your eclairs, whatever, the day after you make this. So you're not having to do it all on one day. How cool is that? So we want to get some of this in here just for show, and we're going to put some in the fridge. Just shove that in there and squeeze. Fill it up with cream. Come on. Look at. So there you go. That's our Diplomat cream, and why you should make it. Because it's more stable in warm weather. Look at that. So there you go, that's our fantastic Diplomat cream. It's in our peripherals and in our eclairs. That is how to use your Diplomat cream. I mean, these things are full. This weighs quite a lot actually. Come on, what we got going on? Let's crack this. We can't really crack it because it's so full of cream. That. That is so good. Get some chocolate on them. There you go. Stick that in the fridge. Goes in the fridge for a couple of days. This is going to set up. Be quite firm. Delicious. Man, we make some good stuff. If you like what we're doing, don't forget to share with your friends. Tell them how easy it is to make Diplomat cream. Shove it in your choux pastry peripherals or your eclairs and you have got a fantastic dessert. All made at home. Very easy, very quick. Put it in the fridge. Lasts for a couple of days, 2 to 3 days. Make it beforehand. Make these. Serve up your eclairs. There you go. If you like what we're doing, big thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel, ring that bell. We'll catch you in the next video.